Hi everyone, this is Marianne and welcome to my channel. When I started filming this video, I was not too hopeful about this onion skin paper that I purchased online. I have been desperately looking for something that can replace the very nice 40 GSM mica onion skin paper that works very well with fountain pens, but has not been available since around the third quarter of 2022. And I have videos about that paper on my channel, which I will link down below. So, in my desperation, I bought this one online and I will also link it down below. This is called the Fine Onion Skin, and on the packaging it says it is 40 GSM. And I only filmed an unboxing without even setting up my filming lights properly because I always film my unboxing videos of all of my online purchases as proof of the condition in which I have received the items. But when I tried out the paper with my fountain pens, I was very surprised. And that is when I finally turned on my filming lights. I tried out the paper with a few different fountain pens. They all have fine nibs, which is all I ever use now. And as you can see, there is no feathering at all, and there is decent shading. And as for the shimmering inks, the shimmer is showing up, and that is very good. The back of the paper shows some ghosting, of course, because the paper is only 40 GSM after all, but there is no bleed through that I can see. And because there is no bleed through, and actually ghosting doesn't bother me at all, I even tried writing on the back side of the paper, right on the area where there is writing on the other side. And the writing I made on that side is still perfectly readable. I wondered if this was a fluke. Did I just get a batch of paper that was only accidentally all right with fountain pens, but that was never the intention of the paper? I asked myself that. So I bought more of the same paper and tested out the new batch of papers with fountain pens, which, like I said, all had fine nibs. Unfortunately, I don't have any broad nibbed pens to test out this paper with, but all of my fine nibbed fountain pens write very wetly because I have adjusted them to write that way using a piece of acetate. I have a video about how to do that on my channel and I will link it down below. And it's the same. There is no feathering and no bleed through. Shading is visible and so is shimmer. Diamine Kelly Green just feathers a little bit, but that's the only ink that feathers out of all the other inks that I have tested, so the paper cannot be at fault. At the back, all the other inks did not bleed through except for Kelly Green. If you have been using fountain pens long enough on an assortment of different papers, you will realize that even certain inks that are reliable on most fountain pen friendly paper can tend to act differently on different papers anyway. It's kind of random, but it happens very rarely. And it happened here with Diamine Kelly Green. So I think this paper is okay, so of course I simply had to make a notebook using this 40 GSM fine onion skin using my usual materials. The white covers are made of 3 layers of 220 GSM cardstock, and there is also the gray fabric covering the spine. I purchased the fine onion skin paper in what we call the long size. In my country, we call it the long size, but it is 8.5 inches by 13 inches, and that is the only size available for this paper. And like I said, I will link the paper in the description box. So, because of the paper size in which I purchased it, the final notebook is 148 millimeters wide, which is the same as standard A5 size, but it is 215 millimeters tall. It is very slightly taller than standard A5 size, which is 210 millimeters tall. The thickness of the notebook is about 20 millimeters, and it has 600 pages or 300 sheets. And all the notebooks that I make have a unique serial number. This one just happens to be 566. I used my own binding method to make this notebook, which allows the notebook to lie completely flat when opened, and it stays flat no matter what page you're on, whether you're near the front of the notebook or at the middle of the notebook or near the back of the notebook, it's going to lie flat. As for the transparency of the paper, let me just show you. Let me take out my writing guide for my own life notebook. This is disc bound, and I created this myself from scratch. I have videos about how I made this notebook, and I will link them down below. If you use a writing guide with bold black lines like this one, you can easily see it through the onion skin paper. And I did try having lines printed straight on the onion skin paper, but the printing press says the paper is too thick, they cannot do it, and so I can only make this notebook in blank. I am located 8 to 10 hours away from Metro Manila, which is the national capital region of my country, and here where I am, printing presses are limited. So I cannot print lines on this thin paper. But the notebook is okay. Like if you use a writing guide, you can have many, many hours of happy writing in this notebook. And the last question that people might have about this notebook is, will it fit inside a Hobonichi cousin cover? Yes, it will fit. Let me show you. Because the covers of the notebook are so thick, like I said, this is 3 layers of 220 GSM cardstock, 3 layers for the front and 3 layers for the back. You cannot bend the covers. So you will need to pull back the covers straight from the spine, just like this, and then gingerly insert them into the pockets of the Hobonichi cover, and then slowly nudge them into place, and then finally, the notebook is now inside a Hobonichi cousin cover. As for other notebook covers that are not Hobonichi branded, I cannot speak for those, but I can certainly vouch for a Hobonichi cousin cover being able to fit this notebook very nicely. And so that is the new notebook product that I can make for you, which you can order from me. You can order through my Facebook page, which I will link down below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.